What's going on, everybody? This is your host, Gilly the Guru, coming live from the press box in studio with Coach G.
Coach G, yeah.
What's going on, man? You know, we're episode 11 now.
You know, Gilly, we're getting more listeners. I want to say I think the umpires are listening.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
What gives that away?
Dude, I got chewed out by one yesterday. Yeah, he gave me the old, you don't respect umpires, you belittle us, this, and, you know, and guy was going out of his way to, like, yank me out of here. One more word, I'm going to toss you out of here, and the kids are going to have to quit the game.
Really?
And I was like, what do you mean? You know, I got another coach if you threw me out to finish this game.
Yeah.
But, you know, back and forth goes. And game one was a smooth game, went super fast, pitching duel was real good. And, you know, when you're out there coaching, you know, I tell the kids, I don't know where I got this from, but I tell them the good players learn from their mistakes. The great players learn from their teammates' mistakes.
Yeah.
You know, or the other team, you know, and, you know, the name of the game of the younger age group is you get a walk, you get a single, you're going to steal second. And if they're not holding you on at second base, you're going to steal third. So sometimes a walk is a triple.
Yeah.
You know, so you'll get the pitchers that'll get on the mound and with the runner on first, and they'll kind of fake pick off. And then you'll dive back, and then they'll hop on the mound and throw the ball, and you're not even ready to steal. And then now your guy has one strike, and usually so when your guy does get on base, when your guy does get on base, the next batter is going to go up there, takes the next pitch. Your kid's going to steal, and now you got a runner in scoring position, you know, and maybe you got a strike on yourself. Mm-hmm. So if the kid's not ready to steal the base and the kid throws a strike, now you got one strike on you.
Yeah.
So now it's like, okay, now if the guy does hit and you steal and it's a line drive, it's a possible double play. So, and sometimes, you know, it gets to the point where you're still in first, you're still in second in two pitches, and sometimes you might have to have 0-2. Yeah. You know, and you got to be a disciplined hitter, put the ball in play, and score a run. You know, so we're going against two good pitchers, you know, and the first pitcher, he went 6 innings, great kid, and he's up there, and he knew how to control the run game. You know, you go there and kind of do a little step off, and then our kid will dive back, hop on the mound, you know, but some of them, it'd be close to a balk where he wasn't coming set, you know, and the umpires, you're going to hear, you know, sometimes you're going to get the guy where, hey, man, you kind of give him the motion of guy's got to come set, you know, and be like, all right, I'll watch it. Well, sometimes you get the guys where once you call it out, they ain't calling it. Yeah. I'm not calling it because you just reminded me. Yeah. You know, and that was the vibe the whole game one. You know, kid knew how to pitch. And you kind of sized up the teams where, you know, our Saturday guys are just learning how to pitch on Saturday. And once you become a good Saturday pitcher and I can rely on you, now you're my Sunday guy and we develop a new Saturday guy. Yeah. And so if you're an umpire, you kind of go, this kid on that team is pitching, knows what he's doing. This kid on the Legends, you could tell he's a Saturday dude and he's learning his, you know, so the it's not there. The sharpness is not as much there yet. Yeah. You know, and then we go to the next game and kid's just running through the pause. Kid's not balking. I mean, kid's not coming set. And I tell my second baseman, yo, you gotta be runner at second base. You gotta be faster. You know, because the guy on the mound, he's working quick and you're not getting your proper lead. And sure enough, that's kind of a sign to the umpire, like, yo, check the guy, you know. So incident happens, and there was a play where, I mean, maybe people know this rule, and the reason why I thought this rule was a balk is because they called it on my player one time. You know, my player's playing third base, their leadoff guy is taking off a big lead, pitcher lifts his leg, throws it to third, but my third baseman didn't go to third base to get the ball. He was like off the bag. Yeah. And my pitcher threw it to a guy off the bag. He called, hey, that's a balk. Your third baseman needs to get to the base, right? So I just, assumed the umpire knew what he was. I never did my research on if that's really a balk. So when yesterday the kid did it to us, spun around, threw it to second, but the shortstop wasn't at second base. The shortstop was playing shortstop, and he just throws it to the shortstop. So, yeah, isn't that a balk? He's like, no, it's not a balk. He could do that. So, all right, cool, whatever. And, we end up getting back to the base, and he wants more. I could tell he wants more because the inning's over. I go to the dugout, and he follows me over there. And usually he would go to the home plate guy, and they BS. And fucking guy goes in there, and he says something. He already gave me the warning. You say one more word, you're getting thrown out, right? So I know my boundaries, and then I get in the dugout, and I can feel this guy following me, and he got me. He did got me. He's egging me on. He give me the whole speech of what I do to umpires, and I thought about it. And I'm just like, but half the umpires love me. And it's kind of like, it's like real recognize real out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like some guys, like I'm walking by and their umpires are pounding me out. Right, see you next weekend. And these are the old timers that they're getting a lot of respect from everyone out there.
Yeah.
So it was like, when he hit that with me, it was like, man, it kind of hurt. It's like, man, is this guy true? And then he said something about the pro. I was like, dude, we got the best program, so don't even go there. And he's like, well, that's why you coach the younger guys. Right? And I was like, what the fuck does that mean? I'm like, well, that's why you umpire the younger guys. Because if you knew what you were doing, you'd be in the 18s and the 16s and the big boys.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be with 11U AA. So that's what I told him. And he goes, why don't you say that to my face? He's still going at it, Gilly. He's still going at it. And I bit the hook. Ha ha! Got me. Right? I bit the hook. And I go, I'll say it to you in the parking lot, not here. And he goes, Karen mode. You're going to threaten me, blah, 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 and pulls that whole card, and I was like, dude, this guy really just threw me out, and now I'm just like, fuck, dude, and you know what, man? It's like, I feel like I bit the bullet, kind of vented to you, telling you the guy eating the sandwich, guys getting cold, and when our first 5 years of starting Living Legends, 10 years in August, it was new team out here, prove yourself to everybody, even the umpires.
Yeah.
And that's why we have so much respect now. And then COVID hit. And it got to a point where, you better pay us more or we're going to have one umpire here.
Yeah.
So we're paying top dollar and we're getting one umpire, Gilly. And it's just look, dude, we got a shortage of umpires. I get it. My kids still got to play. And it would even get to the point where they would umpire from behind the pitcher's mound. And I'm just like, dude, I'm biting my tongue, but we're going to get to two umpires one day. And that was through COVID. We get through it. We bit our tongue, but I feel like the professionalism, these guys being professional is not there. And I'm going to be cool but I bit the hook, and dude throws me out and freaking, I feel like, the dues that we paid as a program, I feel like we shouldn't have you threw me out for no reason. If you're going to throw me out and I got to have my other coach come in, have this director come over here and tell me, and by the way, this is why he threw me out.
Yeah.
Because that's all I can tell him, and when I got back to first base, I was like, I'm pretty sure that's a rule because I got hit on that rule. It's not a rule. It's not a rule. So he's just on one-sided mode. So I'm not leaving until the director comes and kicks me out. That's where I'm at right now, and the year we won TOCs, I was this close from getting thrown out round 1, round 2, round 3, championship. And every time it was that closeness, our boys responded.
Yeah.
And we ended up winning TOCs that year at Briarwood. Might have been the last time that I hope this never happens. I hope we hit it again, but that might be the last time Briarwood ever wins a major TOC championship. And if you don't know what a TOC championship is, every little league in your district, a first place teams go at it.
Yeah.
And they go to the end. Tournament of Champions. Yeah. Won that shit. 2015. Braves. And oh my God. This guy. So dude throws me out. Bring the director. These guys goes and gets security. We're right next to the director's spot. So security shows up and I see Brother Man, like, yo, what's up, dog? He's all, I'm here to get you out. I'm here to get you out. And this is my boy, too, the guy who's been there forever. and then the other homie were super cool. You know what I mean? Like, yo, I don't even need to check your stuff. You're good. You're clear. And so it's long-winded here, Gilly. But I'm like, you guys are really here getting me out of here? Like, you guys are serious. He goes, yeah, if you don't listen, you got to get out. And I was like, look, man, dude, this is not have nothing to do with you. This is a baseball incident right here, and we want the director here. We don't need security here. He goes, I'm calling 911. I'm calling 911.
911?
He said that. And Gilly, this is like the homie. This is the homie from Twin Creeks at security. And granted, they know, like, yo, I'm out there passionate for my team. Either it's just what it is. And so the director comes and he's like, look, dude, he threw you out. You got to go. I was like, cool. Well, that's what if that's how you feel, I'm out of here then, And then I end up taking off, and then, our team was a 1-0 game, blah, blah, blah. But, yeah, I feel like they're listening. I feel like they got mad about the sandwich, and me bagging the guy for being cold, and it was just, just from the inning. I mean, from the game one, when the game one, inning one is one word from you, George, I'm going to send your kids home. And I was like, why are you talking about my kids? Like, even if you throw me out, my kids are still going to play.
Yeah.
And even at the end of the day, we went, had a rough weekend of winning or losing, but played 2 good games. And, some kids stepped it up who usually don't step it up on the mound. Like I told one of my lefties, man, I was like, yo, I see why you get so mad when you don't have a good outing, because you had a good outing on Saturday night and it was electric. So you're sitting there in the dugout like, shit, I'm trying to show my coach what I could do in my little league, or what I'm doing at practice, or with Pops, or, and every time I come out here, it's just, it don't go my way. Travel ball's hard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Travel ball's hard. And it's just going back to asking this question. Okay. Yeah. We don't get the results we want, but I guarantee you guys, raise your hand if you're the captain, you're the all-star, and you're the go-getter on your little league team. Yeah. And they all raise their hand. Yeah. And it's just like, yo, then our job's being done. Because at the same time, when that moves on to high school, you guys are having a rough time at 15U, 16U, 18U travel ball going against the best of the best. How many guys doing good in your high school? Oh, I'm all league. Yeah. And so it's just baby steps. They don't see it. Maybe parents don't see it yet, but I got to be there for that, that time. And at the same time, coach might get rung. I was watching the game, and then I tell, oh boy, and I go, look, man, I said, I'm going to leave right now. Just let's just let me get my bag, and I'm going to go walk. I don't want to walk through the crowd. I don't want to go through the crowd, the walk of shame. He's like, yeah, I got you. And then I go, yo, I'm going to go get my stuff at the end of the game. Because like I said, I still want to shake the other team's hand. Yeah. No ill will on these guys. It's like, once you are a dirtbag to me, I got to be a dirtbag to you. But I bit the hook. I bit the hook, because that's what he was going for. It's the guy that I told you that doesn't have a coin in his pocket. So he goes, hey, Siri, flip a coin for me. That's that guy. So he's still mad that I'm calling him out about that. That I'm not telling him, yo, you can put a coin in your pocket because you are an umpire. Yeah. You'll flip a coin. Or how about the clicker in your hand, and you just click them all and you go, odds are even. You go, even. He'll count 3, 1, 2. All right, it's, odd. Even.
That's a new age umpire, right?
Yeah, it's a new age umpire, because it's all the new crew. Yeah. It's all the new crew.
A digital crew.
Yeah. And then so I'm walking out with security, and he's walking me out to the car, and I see an old timer that knows my kids from playing. We're 10 years in. This Georgie's 21 when they're 11. Yeah. They remember Georgie when he's 11 years old on the mound. Yeah. And he's watching me hey, you getting escorted out of here? What'd you do? And then today he sees me walking out, and he goes, well, at least you're not getting escorted again. He gives me the pound. And dude, this is jolly old Santa Claus. It's like, yeah, it's just back when men were men. It's just that old time where they're still going to be, even though they could hear us chirping, oh, that was a strike, or where did that miss? Even though they hear that, they keep it in and they still call their game and they don't take no ill will.
Yeah.
Well, I have to say the young guys, this new age umpires, their ears are rabbit ears, but it's just like how I learned, I'm sure they're learning.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's just, what it was. But I go to my game today and I'm like, who are they going to send my way? Who are they going to send my way? And guess who they send? Not those guys. They send 2 high school kids that were ex-living legends. Isn't that fucked up? And it's like, yo, you're not fucking us over. These kids were raised by us.
Yeah.
These kids are little OGs that are just some, you can't bullshit a bit bullshitter.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we're going to respect the game. We're going to respect everybody as long, but yeah. These kids, we're 15 minutes late. We're going to run this right now. That's what he told me. Boom, let's rock. 6-inning game, let's go. But yeah, they send my old kids I coached. Took to Cooperstown when they were 12 years old. They're seniors in high school. And they send them to field 7. Oh, my God. But that just shows how deep we are, though, right?
Yeah.
Like, our kids are about to go to college next year to go play ball, but we're making extra money being umpires and they still play. They're umpiring one weekend, and then the following weekend they're playing.
Oh, shit.
Getting paid.
Yeah.
They'll play an 8 and 10 o'clock game with their 18U team and go umpire 12, 2, 5, 7, getting paid.
Oh, that's dope.
Cheers.
Cheers to that. Cheers to that. But you know what?
Bullshit.
It's like every story that you've told us, though, I mean, you've always had a valid point.
Yeah.
To go at these umpires. It's not like you just out of spite or just being a jerk about it.
Yeah.
You had valid points for each argument or
each
time you got tossed, right?
I hope to think so.
I mean, so. But that's the thing now. That's like just in general, like what we know as common sense isn't common sense to other people.
Right.
And sometimes I feel like I'm the weird one because, I like to think of myself as I'm pretty normal, have common sense, like to do the right thing.
Yeah.
But other people's eyes is different. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, why wouldn't you do it like that? Like the right way? Or, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean, so like, by you telling us all this, like, do you think these umpires think they have way more authority than what they really should have?
Well, some do. I mean, that's when they get that mode where you're like, man, I feel like that's kind of like when you hear those times where like, that police officer's taking his job a little too serious, or that security guard or whatever. That's what it's kind of at. I mean, it's like, yo, man, I got it. You guys are human too. You know what I mean? And, if I feel like I'm not saying anything disrespectful and it's just like, yo, man, hey, Blue, feel like he's going a little too quick. Check it. You know what I mean? And it's like, yo, and when my kid balks, I want you to call it.
Yeah.
That's how we're learning. Just like when I bark at the umpire, you think I'm getting a better strike zone for my kids on the mound? No, I'm writing a check that my kids got to cash.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, 10 years through this, sending kids every time up, the way I'm doing it is, I'm not kissing no one's ass. And if it makes it harder on our kids, it's just going to be a harder grind, but it's not going to be like it was given to us, and it just, and at the same time, life ain't always fair. And if they're able to kind of see it from an umpire, they're actually growing up as an athlete, but even as a human being that, you might have some good old Coach Jim and Coach George that has your back, but a lot of people don't care.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so it's just like, let's not always assume that, everyone's there for the right reason. Let's, some life lessons are being learned out there at our Legends tournaments, and practice. And it's not always just about baseball. It's about everything, It's just, that's always been our motto. I mean, dealing with school, dealing with sports. My kid's got a shitty teacher, you're dealing with it. If you sign up for something, you didn't want to do it, well, I'm not calling your teacher. You're telling your teacher you don't want to wake up at 7:30 in the morning and do cross guard duty. That's, you signed up for it. I ain't telling them. You got to tell them you don't want to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to go, hey, you know what? Since you signed up for it, you did it. You're going to do it. No, if you don't want to go do it, you're going to go tell your boss you don't want to do it. Just like you need to tell your boss you need a raise or whatever. These are just life lessons that my kids got to take advantage of when they hit, because you can't pay for that shit.
Yeah.
You can't pay for that shit. So, yeah, man, it's a trip, bro. It's a trip. It keeps me young though, man. I mean, quiet dude, man. You know me, quiet kid. But it's like when you're dribbling that ball and you're over there in the courts, a little smack talk comes out. It's just we're athletes, man, and it's just like we're not the highest.
Always competitive.
Always competitive.
Like, that's why I told my wife, like, even when my son grows up, like, I'm still gonna not let him score.
Yeah.
It's just me just being competitive with him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My dad was kind of like that too. Like, even though back in the day we used to play horse, whatever, he never used to let me win. You'd make all the shots.
Right. Yeah.
It's just competitive nature we have. So,
no,
like
for
you said,
sure.
even you just being a coach and to the umpire, like, that's just you just being competitive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, and I think that's how it's supposed to be, though.
Yeah.
I mean, how would your kids look at you if you weren't like that?
Yeah. No,
for sure. You just let everything fly.
Yeah.
How would even as far as even parents, like, hey,
Yeah.
you're not sticking up for the team. You're not saying this. You're not saying that.
Yeah.
But I mean, you're doing your job as a coach.
Yeah, no, for sure, man. It's another fun weekend, man. And I mean, shit, that's got to be my one for the year, and we just started too. So, now I just got to pipe down. But, man, shout out to, the whole crew, the whole team, and even parents, man. I just think about that, man. What makes it easier for us with me and Greco is, Jim coached, played ball, and he even coached when he was playing ball, and played college ball and then coached. But we were parents also before travel ball started, and he got to coach his kids. I got to coach my kids. And we know what parents want, and we know what these parents are going through and how much time they're devoting to watching their kids play, so, and dude, these parents kick ass, man. If I was a kid knowing that, this weekend I'm going to go to Twin Creeks and then go play a team from San Francisco and Pacifica or whatever, and then I'm going to go the following week, a month from now, I'm going to go to Stockton and play, and then when we're 12 years old, we're going to go to New York, and then every year in high school, we're going to go to Arizona to go play the best in the world. You know what I mean? I'm thanking my mom and dad for that shit, man. That's tight, dude. So, yeah, definitely good times, man. Definitely good times.
For sure. Coach G, this past week, the MLB finally kicked off, and and did you catch any games this week?
Yeah, man. I mean, I'll just go off of what I watched recently. Everyone's talking about the Torpedo bat.
that was one of the topics I did have written down for sure. Because how do you feel about that? I mean,
I mean, to me, it was okay. So I heard I was watching the game, and they were talking about Volpe. Yeah. How on his bat, all of his scuff marks of hitting the ball are right below the sweet spot, right above the logo.
Yeah.
Right. So what they did was, put that sweet spot more down there, and so he could hit. So instead of him adjusting his batting or, hitting, the ball on the barrel, they just, why do that? Just keep your swing and have the barrel where fitted to where, I mean, if you think about it, if everyone's different, you just have that sweet spot move to wherever it goes.
They just adjust according to you. And
here's the bat. We're going to put a little marker on the balls, and wherever it's peppered, we're going to keep that sweet, so it's definitely not illegal, because I mean, if you think about it, it's just it's fat in the middle and then it goes skinny at the tip.
Yeah.
So I honestly think it was just a fluke. It was just one of those games where they just hit the shit out of the ball. Had nothing to do with the Torpedo bat or, because I don't know if the whole team was using it or, I don't know, because they hit 8 home runs that game. Judge hit 3. Yeah. They're at 15 home runs in 3 games.
Yeah, they're tied for a record right now. 15.
For a record.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, it was cool to watch it. I had some action on that game, and all my Yankee guys hit. And just the guys on the other team buckled, but I had a feeling it was just one of those fluke games. Because they say they were using it last year too. It was used last year, and actually Jason Dominguez had a quote, and he was like, Giancarlo used it all last year, and he has an elbow injury this year, and he complains that it had something to do with his hitting style. So was it the new bat he used that fucked up his, his elbow? That's what Jason Dominguez tries saying.
Yeah.
So maybe Jason Dominguez like, yo, fuck, I ain't using that. You know, hey, it worked for you, but it's just in your head. You know, so I don't know. I mean, people are going to start tinkering around with it. You know,
I think there was a guy on Minnesota that actually had one today too.
Really?
Yeah, but I don't think anything happened with him.
Yeah.
So I mean, it could have just been one of those games. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, they did go against their old pitcher Cortez.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I'm glad that happened to him because what he started saying about the Dodgers, like, you know, Yankees were a better team in the World Series, this and that.
Yeah.
I mean, and Yankees just fucking let him have it.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that happened to him. But yeah, I mean, it could have been one of those games where the fluke of, you know, the new bat got exposed and this and that, and everyone was launching them today. But then you go today and you see Judge launch one again.
You know, again, yeah.
And Chaz launched one at the end of the game.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, good for baseball, right? Because they're trying to get everyone's batting average up and definitely the offense, and they don't got to juice the ball and then just got to, you know, get these bats a little bit more hotter.
Yeah.
You know, without doing anything illegal, corking the bat or anything like that. So
I mean, I could see it as not being illegal because, like you said, they're not corking it. They're not tampering with the inner in any type of way.
Yeah.
It's just, you know, basically the shape and adjusting to the hitter's skill set. Basically,
Yep.
That's what they did.
Yeah.
I think it's a very smart idea.
Yeah.
I mean, if they did use it all last year, and I mean, when did they start using it last year?
Yeah. Well, I think it might have been just maybe Giancarlo used the torpedo bat. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, because it sounded like Volpe just figured it out when they realized he's hitting it right above his hands, basically. You know, that's when they gave him the bat, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah. I mean, first 3 pitches were bombs, back to back to back. And then I even seen the catcher, his first game, first leadoff home run, first catcher to lead off for the Yankees, or
Yeah,
you know, he hits a bomb. Yeah.
That was a show they put on yesterday, man.
I mean, it's beautiful, right? Because like everyone's Dodgers. You know what I mean? And it's good where, I mean, even the damn Phillies, they're all boo-hoo, you know, about like, you know, the Dodgers are too good. We're not gonna look into how far we're gonna go. We're just gonna keep it day by day.
But that's crazy to even say that though, because their lineup is
team
fucking
is still
solid.
good.
They got depth, bro. Like,
Pitching's really good. Is really good, and you know, and oh my god, you know, it's just that town's an anxiety town. You know,
yeah, you know, like me being a Dodger fan, it's like, yeah, we have a stacked team, but the injury bugs that have come,
and it's baseball too.
Yeah, and
it's still baseball.
It's 162 games.
Yeah.
Such a long season, and the injury bugs are gonna come to your players. That just happens. That's just what happens in baseball.
Yeah.
Whether it happens to pitching, batting, it's gonna come. And like, there's no guarantee that they're gonna win a World Series.
Yeah. No.
You know what I mean?
No. You're gonna guarantee that you're not gonna get hot at the right time, cold at the right time. Who's gonna get hot at the right time? You know, it's yeah, man. I mean, and even watching the Phillies, you know, they got exposed last year on the breaking ball, and they couldn't keep off of it. And then game 1, they said all off season, you know, they're talking about how they're changing their approach. And then I texted you guys, first 9 batters, 7 strikeouts.
Yeah.
You know, first 15 batters, 12 strikeouts. And then the next day on the radio, they were just saying, well, the shadows were really bad, you know, and shadow schmadows, you know, at the end of the day, I mean, Nola had 9 strikeouts, you know, and so maybe the shadows were there, but it was just 2 good pitchers taking advantage of hitters that are brand new in the season.
Yeah.
And that's all that was, because right when they pulled out their starter, Harper hits the bomb.
Yeah.
You know, and they end up scoring like 7 runs, I think.
Yeah.
So it was just a product of an ace using his off speed, because they know you can't touch the off speed because that's your problem.
Yeah.
You know, and instead of like the last couple of years that the Phillies been doing, oh, we're World Series or bust. We're World Series or bust. Let's just get to the playoffs. Well, how about let's work on something all year, because it's going to take all year to learn how to hit these dudes.
Yeah.
Because the scouting report was probably on the Phillies. We're like, yo, all year throw these guys fastballs. And then once you get to September, October, throw in the curveballs and the changeups and throw more off speeds or pitch backwards, first pitch curveballs, first pitch changeups, and see how these dudes react.
Yeah.
You know, and and it's what happened is, so it's just, I think especially with the Phillies, yeah, they're striking out a lot, but that lineup is too damn deep to be all boohoo. That pitching staff is legit, and so yeah, no, they need to realize that, go battle for the East with Atlanta and the Mets, and try to go fight with the Dodgers. Because if you go and conquer all that, you could go win a World Series.
Oh yeah.
If you get past the National League.
Yeah,
and all those years when it was supposed to be you guys, now it's on the Dodgers' watch. The pressure's on them. So yeah, man. I mean, I love that baseball's back, man. I'm loving it. I got T-Mobile, man. Fuck, if you got T-Mobile, it's free baseball MLB.
Really?
Yeah. So, and it's like last year G missed out because you got from the 25th of March to the 31st, and if you don't redeem, it's gone. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I freaking been putting that on, so it's just on all the time. I'm at work. If I'm driving around, put that shit on the iPad. And even my daily thing now is just like, put it on that MLB. They show all the games from yesterday. I'm loving it, man. I think I'm starting to get more into it these last 2-3 years. And obviously too is like even going to the more different stadiums and stuff. It's kind of making me love the game a lot more.
Yeah.
Because man, when the kids are growing up, it's like, yeah, we'll go to an A's game here or there, but it was hard to follow, because you're at the damn Little League practice, you're at watching games, you're doing all that stuff. So now it's just able to kind of relax and chill, and enjoy it more, man.
Yeah.
Enjoy the shit more. And it's dope, man. It's dope seeing all these stars. Seeing Tatis. We got to go to San Diego and see Tatis. When he hit that first bomb and the crowd was going wild, like, bro, yeah, that is electric out there.
That stadium just seems like it's always just up in frenzy.
Jumping,
It seems so crazy.
Yeah.
What do you think about the Dodgers opening ceremony for their World Series? Ice Cube coming out in the 57 Chevy.
I'm thinking someone from Japan's going to buy that, right? Because you know how the Japanese love the lowrider culture.
Yeah, they inherit everything, even the cholo look, everything.
Yeah, so damn well. That's why put this, what was it, 58?
It's 57.
57? Oh my God. Put this out there and watch. That's going to go for $2 million. The Shohei Chevy right there. Dude, it was clowning. It was clowning, man. I thought it was tight. Yeah. I mean, when you've seen all the guys come down the blue carpet, seen that. And then you see Ice Cube driving, and still keeping it smooth on the warning track all the way around with the World Series trophy in there. Oh my God. Right? And it doesn't even end there. And then I come back and they got Freddie Freeman's parents. Right, Freddie they're talking about his dad, and the dad's telling an amazing story, and Freeman's giving the old pat in the back, and the crowd goes nuts because Kirk Gibson's throwing out the first pitch
to Freddie.
It's like, oh my God, yeah, dude. It's like, man, if that doesn't freaking give you goosebumps, man, it's like, what will? And he just goes up there, steps on the mound, just chucks it. Yeah, he even get a standing ovation. Another, he just went there, threw it, and yeah, and then it's on. It's on. Season starting. So yeah, man. I mean, they're just it's a new age now. Like we're talking about the new age umpires, the new age of everything now.
Yeah,
and it's like, I like what they're doing. I mean, I wonder what the comments are. Was it too much?
No, I mean, everybody expected it. I mean,
yeah.
World Series they just won. Plus, it's the city of LA, entertainment.
Yeah.
They just do it big in general.
Yeah, that was super big.
You got Magic Johnson, one of the owners. He just loves shit like that. They love to put together shit like that, and it was just even for a ceremony too. They did the same thing with the rings the next day. They gave everybody the rings, and Jack Flaherty was a starter for the Tigers. They gave him a Dodger jersey, gold one, and with his ring too.
That's dope.
Everybody still, embraced him, gave him a hug. He wanted to be back, but things just didn't work out.
Yeah.
But man, I just loved it. I loved seeing it all, man. It was big for me for them to win, especially they had heartbreaks over the past several years before that. And they should have won. Had that scandal, fucking Houston cheating, banging on the thing. We should have won that year, but
yeah.
But I mean. all that's behind. We finally won again. Hopefully we'll repeat this year.
So wait, they've won 2 recently, right?
Yeah, they won the one in 2020.
Okay, so Kershaw already has one.
Yeah, so he won that shorter season. They won that one. And,
okay.
And
was that a COVID season?
Yeah, it was.
So it was a COVID ring. So the Dodgers and the Lakers won the COVID, dude. Oh, was Kobe year?
No,
was that was the year Kobe passed away?
No. Oh yeah. The year Kobe passed away. Yeah. The year Kobe passed away, they won that.
Oh man.
So that's why they're they were saying it's the Lakers' turn. Do it again.
Yeah.
Keep
it might be
keep Titletown alive. That's what they're trying to say. So I mean.
Yeah, that's why I wore my Grinches today to the tournament. I wanted to feel Grinchy. Oh my gosh, jeez, unbelievable. Ronnie's watching the whole thing. Oh, Ronnie wrong. Anyways, but yeah, man, no, baseball's back, baby. It is back. I was actually to watch a couple of A's games too, man. Like I'm torn, dude. Like I show up to, I go pick up some tools, and Dirtball's wearing a Sacramento A's shirt, right? And then, where'd you get that? He's like, I'm just trolling. It's St. Patty's Day, and I figured, what can I wear? Oh, I got this Sacramento A's shirt. And of course, he's a Giants fan.
Yeah.
And it's like, but it's like, man, dude, it's like, I'm just torn with those Oakland A's, and if they go to Vegas, and it's hard to root for them, but it's like when I see them on TV, it's hard not to root for them. It's not their problem. It's not their fault. They got shitty-ass owner, and they're leaving the Bay. It's like, damn, man.
It's kind of weird because they seem like non-existent no more, huh? Like they don't even have a city. They're just called Athletics.
ATH.
Yeah.
It's not even ATH.
You think the players gotta hate that shit, or they think they don't even care because they know they're going to a brand new home in Vegas?
Yeah, they know they're. I mean, they're probably right around the corner of getting paid.
Yeah.
So, but it's like they're in Sacramento for 3 years.
Is it that long?
Yeah, 3 years.
Oh shit, that's shitty.
They're a long time. So I mean, yeah, it's super tough. It's a situation. I mean, and I was watching the game. Was it the Florida Marlins that's playing at the Yankees spring training stadium?
Oh yeah. Because their whole thing got destroyed during a hurricane.
That's right.
So so they can't. They don't. Actually, now that you brought that up, I just remember that's what they're playing now.
That's what they're playing. It's basically a replica of Yankee Stadium.
Yeah.
But in smaller version, and then they threw all the Tampa Bay shit on there.
Yeah.
Jeez. Oh my goodness. So this was the year to do it.
Yeah.
Where you just go play at your small facility. Oh,
basically.
Man.
Yeah. It's crazy that the city of Oakland just has no more franchises whatsoever.
Yeah.
Raiders gone, Warriors gone, A's gone. Like, has that ever happened before? The city just loses every team?
I mean, we've never seen that.
No.
No, 3 teams gone in 5 years, 10 years, or whatever, in 1 decade. Like, think about it. If you're the mayor or you're running that city, like, you got to feel like you lost all these jobs. You lost thousands of jobs. You lost thousands of memories under your watch because you're trying to make something better. Now that was horrible. That is horrible, man. That's crazy. I mean, just even think that this Bay Area is only going to have 1 baseball team. Giants.
And
Giants 49ers.
Giants, 49ers, Warriors.
Listen to the radio. It's all 49ers and Giants. And, it's, we had 2 teams here. The A's and the Giants. And the 49ers and the Oakland Raiders. It's gone. And then they just, Golden State, just come over here. Damn, man, yeah.
I was thinking about, you were saying that, going to different stadiums and, I know when you take your trip to the East Coast, you always go to at least, 3, 4 different.
Yeah, 2 or 3 stadiums, yeah.
And any plans this summer?
No, I'm taking a break. Yeah, this year, kids are graduating, so we're out there for 2 weeks, and it's funny because when we're out there, like sometimes the phone service sucks. So we're like, yo, let's get some walkie-talkies. So I ended up getting some walkie-talkies from work, and I was going to text Jim like, yo, the walkie-talkies are ready, but I'm not going this year. I'm taking a year off because we're going to finally hit a trip, with the family vacation.
Okay.
So, but like, yo, it's in June, July. It's right around the corner for our 12-year-old team.
Man, can you believe it's already going to be April, May?
Yeah. Super fast. I've been counting the months, days for my kid to graduate. Like, get out of public school. It's done. Yeah. College, 2 college kids, and no more dealing with a principal or tardies. None of that, dude. Gilly, counting the days, dude. This is right there. Oh, in May. It's going to be beautiful, But, geez. Forgot what was my train of thought here.
Family vacation.
Family vacation. No Cooperstown. So now we're bringing our 12s. Jim's going out there with Coach Curtis, and he's going to hold it down with that team. And man, this team that we're bringing up, man, they won every age group, 10s, 11s, 12s. This team had the problem with they were so good young. It was how to keep every stud on the team happy. You know what I mean? And it's hard, because when you get a team, it's like, yo, all you guys are all-stars in your little league. Everyone raise their hands. What position do you guys all play? Everyone raise their hands. Shortstop. So you're like, okay, how am I going to keep 12 shortstops happy? Well, okay, whoever's my main shortstop, go set the bar. Whoever's my main pitcher, go set the bar, and then that just holds the bar. And the next a year later, I got 11 shortstops that are holding that bar. And then by the time they're with Jim at 14s and 16s, it's, I got Sunday night championship with Greco. It's automatic, So that's this 12-year-old team. So this team kind of had a won every tournament at 10s, and then 11s. So in that situation, when you're doing that at 10s and at 11s, you're like all the little Timmies and the little Tommies that were this 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 hitters. I need you guys to be like my dudes now. And your other 8 hitters are already automatic. Well, you needed the whole team to be good. And that's the process of right there where some parents, some kids bounce.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We didn't win like at 10s, So a little bit of that on this team. But for the most part, this team's deep and this team's going to go make some noise, just like all our other teams, So definitely excited. I'm just going to be watching it from the West Coast while Jim's out there with the squad, So, yeah, no. I think his plan was to try hitting like Canada. He was going to Toronto and maybe going to like a Pittsburgh game, because that's where we're heading now. Like, already hit Citi Field, Yankee Stadium, Baltimore, Camden Field, Camden Yards, Philly. Philly seems like I got to go there every year now, though. Because like we're here on the East Coast and Philadelphia is 2 hours away. Philly cheesesteaks. I could go buy an Eagles shirt at the store. So that feels like, to me, I'm automatically always going to go to Philly.
That's a good thing about the East Coast and being right there. Everything's close. Those major cities are all pretty much, nothing's more than 3 hours away.
Yeah. It's just bang, boom, 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 boom. Yeah.
Easy trip there and back.
Because we fly into Boston. We fly into Boston and we either hit a game at Fenway before or after, and then we drive to Cooperstown, play our tournament, and then we go into New York City, do our thing in New York City. Oh, let's go to Philly. Boom. Oh, well, so-and-so didn't make it to Camden Yards last year. We're going to Camden Yards. We haven't hit the Nationals. So maybe we still haven't been Washington, D.C., haven't did that. But it's like I plan on going here every year I coach.
Yeah.
This is 1 year I'm taking it off. But next year, back at it. The year after that, Ronnie's kid's going. The year after that, like, we have one team that all of the homies' kids, like 6 to 10 kids, are all 10 years old. So let's bring one team, all Living Legends kids, and then Coach George is going to bring all the homies' kids or whoever. Like, I know Jason Kuhn's kids over there in San Mateo, and I don't even know if he plays baseball, but we're all going to New York. Do you want to come?
Yeah.
He's going to say, yeah. Yeah, Jacoby's coming. So that's that age group. My nephew, little Mikey, Ronnie's son, my boy Trunk's son.
Yeah.
They're all that age, and then so it's like it's never going to be ending.
Yeah.
I'm going to be going, all right, now we're going to go to Canada, go watch the Blue Jays game. So yeah, no, taking a break this year, but I'm going to have that. I wish I was over there when they're there. It's going to suck, dude.
You're going to get some pictures and videos.
Dude.
You know, I was actually texting little Georgie yesterday. And actually I was on Twitter and they had a picture of this. He was up way at the top. But they took a picture of the Pittsburgh park, and you see that bridge and the whole skyline from their ballpark. It looks so fucking dope.
Yeah.
And I sent him that picture, like, bro, I need to go there. I need to go watch a Dodger game over there because they said it's actually one of the most beautiful parks in the majors.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. PNC?
Yeah, PNC Park. Yeah.
Jeez. Our kid that's over there that went to Pitt hasn't got any opportunity to pitch. I mean, they're out there. That's where he's at. So, I mean, if he was going to stay there, if he ends up staying there, you know, we have a reason to go over there. But, you know, I mean, that's our plan. I mean, one of our plans was even to, like, start driving back, like, get all the way to Cleveland. You know, one of my parents did that. One of my parents this year, they went to, like, instead of going back to New York, they went, like, to Canada. They went to Detroit, Chicago, the Cubs they went back that way.
Oh, it's like the northern route.
And then flew back home from there.
Oh, shit.
You know, our second year we ever went to Cooperstown, one of our families, they took a Winnebago all the way East Coast and did like 10 stadiums.
Oh shit.
And then I think they flew back. So I don't know how they did. They got a rental car, they drove there and flew back. But like, so they left like 3 weeks before the tournament.
That's a vacation.
That's a vacation, you know.
That's a crazy vacation.
Yeah.
Right,
so, but yeah, man, those trips they're the funnest trips, man. You know, they're the funnest trips, and always just got to make it best for these kids because understanding what every parent's sacrificing, what these kids are sacrificing. Even myself, man, those coaches, you know, I mean, we're over there taking 2-3 weeks off of work. We're away from our families and shit, and we're just, it's a baseball trip.
Yeah.
You know, as much as you feel like it's vacation, me and Greco, that guy's, we're going to go eat this camp food and we're going to go ready to go kick some ass.
Yeah.
You know, and the pep talks you're getting inside the bunks and, you know, and just being around all those athletes. And it's just a great experience for these kids, man, especially just even going to Cooperstown, seeing that. One year we're going, it was the day that Big Papi is doing the speech. So you're going and all these Red Sox fans are all crowded in the streets with Dominican flags. And it just feels like you're like a part of like a Red Sox championship parade.
Yeah.
You know, and we're over there doing the tour while he's doing his speech. You know, it's just so dope. It's so dope, man. You know.
So for a kid that like, you know, was an older teen that goes to Cooperstown, what do you think the experience is like for them?
It's you hear about it your whole life at Living Legends. So as a 10-year-old, I mean, we don't tell them at 10, but the way of our turnout is like you're 10, you stick with us all the way through for the most part, you know, and even all the way till 18s, you know, we got kids at 18s that we've had since they were 10, 11 years old, you know, but they hear about it now, and now it's a tradition with Living Legends. Now we're taking 2 teams. They're hearing about it. So when they're finally there, like I've taken a team there where no one could throw a strike because they're so nervous. You know, it's like, yo, you're seeing the jitters, but it's like, yo, we're doing all this because when you're in the championship in high school or you're doing whatever you need to do, you've been through all of that. You know, you pitched in Twin Creeks, you pitched in here, and now you've been in Arizona going against kids that are prospects that are getting drafted, and you're shitting your pants, but you're over there still executing. You know, and then now you got to go back to Wilcox and pitch against, you know, a Palo Alto in a league championship. And you know what? I'm going to just go in there and do my thing.
Yeah.
You know, and they're nervous. Yeah, the kids are nervous. And then, you know, you go and beat a team and you go beat another team. And then you're on a winning streak. And because you're from California. If you're from California, you're from Texas, Florida. You got the best experience than anybody else in some team in, you know, Idaho. Yeah. Idaho is not going against teams like a Bay Area team going against Sacramento's best, going against Salinas' best. You know, we just get it all the time. You know, so we're going up there, we're prepared. You know, and then all of a sudden you go against that Houston team. that's the size of your dad, and they're all big boys, but we go beat them. And then now we're just 4-0, and we're walking around with our beats slapping, and everyone's like, "Oh shit, living legends, Cali kids." Just like I love this story. This is the greatest story ever. One of our kids, there was the Boston kids, all these Dominican kids. Man, these look like all stud players, right? Boston RBI, and they were fast. They were like they were like older kids, but they were 12 years old. And one of our kids had somehow got some fried rice because he didn't want none of the food from the bunks.
Yeah.
So I tell him, look, dude, you're not going to eat it in front of all the kids. Go outside, go sit on the picnic table and go eat. He goes down there, and Boston RBI is down there. And they're all over his food, right? And they're like, yo, let me get a bite. Let me get a bite of that. And my dude's like, dude, this is fried rice. I can't share fried rice. You know what I mean? Like, you got a spoon, you got a cup. I'll give you. No, I can't. Well, no, you're not getting it. Well, they're trying to punk my kid, right? And I got a picture of these dudes, both of our teams. It's so dope. And right there, I'm watching them trying to punk our kid, and our kid's holding his own, you know. And he's like, "Nah, you ain't getting none. I'm not sharing with you unless you have your own cup and your own spoon. I'll break it off, but I'm not letting you grab my spoon and eat this." You know, and these guys are just like, "Come on," you know. It's like how we were kids, you know. Hey, friend, you know, let me get drink your water. I'm thirsty. Yeah. You know, I'll freaking waterfall.
Yeah.
You know, like we didn't care about germs when we were kids. You know, so that's what these kids. These kids were still kids, and our kids held their own. And as the week goes, I see the Boston RBI kids. They're all on the top of the hill, and they're looking down. They're, hey, look, our boys are coming. And they're all on the line. They're all on the line looking at the boys rolling up. And I was just like, I'm coming out of the bathroom, and I was like, who are these guys talking about? Our boys are coming up. Let's see who their boys are. And sure enough, Living Legends, 12 White comes up, and they see each other. They fucking shake each other's hands, you know, and till this day, they all got each other's little Instagrams and,
oh, shit.
You know, and, you know, those experiences are what's really, really cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because in the beginning, you know, you're going to get some kids that haven't been away from parents in a long time.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, so this is a culture shock for them. You got parent kids, they're not used to eating chips and nachos for lunch. You know, and some squirrely eggs and sausage and bacon for breakfast.
Yeah.
You know, and that's another kind of like adapting to. And yeah, man, I'm going to miss it. I'm going to fucking miss it. It's so dope, man. And the picture that I got, it's a type picture. It's Boston RBI and Legends.
They're a legit team?
Yeah, they were cool. I felt bad for them because we did the home run derby, and they were in our group. And they had a kid that looked like Beltron. I was like, dude, this kid's going to go off because you're in a Little League field, 200, but you're using travel ball bats.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was like, dude, this kid's going to go off. And they had, you know, the little mini Bryce Harper who already hit 8 home runs, and everyone's trying to catch him. And then you got a little Beltre, right? I mean, you could just tell, dude. I mean, he's going out there with no helmet. You know, he's just like, dude. And their coach couldn't throw strikes.
Shit.
So because you're on the field and you got 10 teams and it's just your 10 hitters with your 10 coaches, and then all 10 of the families are all surrounding that field. So, all right, it's your turn, Coach George. And I go up there and I bring 2 buckets, flip one upside down, I put the other one so it's my height. And I have my glove, I put like 8 balls in there, and I'm just like, yo, you're going to get like 5 balls in 2 seconds. So you're just swinging and boom. And it's electric. It's electric. And I'm even nervous as like there was one time where like I couldn't throw a strike for the first 3. And then you just start getting in a groove. Yeah. Bam, bam, and just boom, 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 boom. It's so dope. It's so one of our kids last year won his field. Cacciaroni. And then he was able to go to field 1 against all the champions.
Oh, shit.
And so he went on and represented that year that I was telling you about the Beltre. Bryce Harper had 8. My guy hit 8, and the 9 went foul. So they went on a hit off, and we lost the hit off. But it was still dope. Like it was tight, dude. It's tight. So
that's super dope, man. I can't wait to experience that one day when JJ's older.
Yeah, it's gonna be cracking.
Yeah, I definitely can't wait to. Because I live and die for that type of shit, man. You know,
Yep.
just to see different places. You know, especially something so historical like at Cooperstown, and you know, they have all the other stuff there as well too.
Yep.
You know, just traveling, seeing different ballparks too. So that's definitely gonna be super fun.
Yeah, it's so cool, man. It's so cool.
Yeah, you know, before we get out of here, let me ask you about Aaron Rodgers. Said that he still hasn't decided what he's gonna do with his future career, going to Steelers or not. Now I'm seeing that Kirk Cousins could possibly be a possibility for the Steelers via trade. If they could waive off his no trade clause.
Oh man,
how would you see Kirk Cousins over there with the Pittsburgh?
No, I have a feeling he's going to be better than Aaron Rodgers. You know, I mean, something's telling me about Aaron Rodgers where maybe he doesn't get signed.
Yeah.
And maybe he retires or maybe he waits. I mean, sometimes, you know, they talk about, I'm going to wait it out. And if someone gets injured throughout the year, I'll be the first person they call. But that's rarely happening nowadays.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you don't have no one on the shelf like at that caliber, you know. So I don't know, man. I feel like it's hitting him. Age is hitting him, you know, and let's just have a for sure bet with Kirk Cousins.
Yeah. Possibly could be Kirk Cousins.
I'm surprised the 49ers didn't try knocking down that door with Kirk Cousins because I feel like he's always wanted Cousins, you know.
Yeah, you know, it was funny. They said he really wanted Mac Jones. He originally wanted to draft Mac Jones.
Really?
But they traded 3 draft picks and got Trey Lance instead of him.
Jeez.
You think about that trade now? That's so stupid, right?
Didn't Mac Jones end? Where's he at? Is he with 49ers?
He's
there.
Now he's there. So they're saying like behind the scenes, Kyle Shanahan's is like, yes, like I finally got my dude.
Guys, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Brock Purdy's still there. I did see that they started negotiations like for sure mm-hmm. with Purdy, and they're saying around 50 to 55 million per year.
So they're not gonna have him the highest paid quarterback. No.
I mean, do you think he actually would deserve to be the highest paid quarterback?
No, but he's going to be like, well, no one pays me that much. Someone will.
Yeah.
If you're not going to pay me, someone will pay me the highest quarterback, you know.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure there's teams that freaking need a quarterback that will be like, yo, we're paying him 60.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's a perfect situation for them since he was the last pick and they're the only ones who gave him the opportunity, you know, so just keep it salary cap friendly, man. You know, I mean, the kid has been playing for hundreds of thousands of dollars and gets injured. The worst that could ever happen. I don't think Purdy's about money, you know? So, no, I mean, if he's smart, you know, and realizes like, look, we have an opportunity to still be good. We have still weapons. Let's save some money on the quarterback because at the end of the day, but it's at the same time where like he's doing just as good as number 1 draft picks.
Yeah.
That are getting paid millions and millions of dollars. So just depending on his mindset, you know, if he's, you know, not really tripping off of, you know, $10 million a year, 50 million total, you know, which I could see him being one of those type of guys.
Yeah.
You know, but at the same time, he's like, look, man, I played for the minimum all 4 years. When anybody would have got a taste of success the way I got, I would have been like, yo, I'm holding out until you restructure this. If they're able to, I don't know how that works with rookie contracts. Like, is it just like, yo, this is what you're getting no matter what? Or is it, you know, I'm going to hold out and we can restructure it? Well, we can't restructure it until 2 years later.
Yeah.
So he has no choice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, man, I mean, it's a cold game.
Yeah,
the pros and
I see where the 49ers can't make him the highest paid quarterback, and I don't think he deserves to be the highest paid quarterback.
Yeah,
maybe if he would have won Super Bowl, then I'm sure he would have got his contract a long time ago.
Yeah,
but I just don't see it. I mean, especially even after last year. I mean, for what he had to work with, he actually still did pretty okay.
Yeah,
you know, they were super riddled with injuries, and he still ended up pulling off to making the team win and had a successful season, kind of.
Yeah.
All right, Coach G, but I think it's gonna wrap up episode 11, man. Anything? Any last words before we head out?
Shit, nothing, man. Just you got what the March Madness coming to an end, so
Final Four look like Duke's gonna pull it off, man.
Yeah, they're smashing. I don't know. I didn't even see if USC won. That was such a bummer with Juju going out.
Oh, man. Juju.
Fuck, that was such a heartbreaker, man. And I didn't see it live when you told me Juju, and I was on the game and they were winning, and you're like, Juju, and I'm like, yeah, Juju's not on the screen. So I rewinded it all the way to it, and I seen that, and I was like,
oh man, that was devastating, man.
Devastating, dude.
Yeah,
devastating. But
I loved how our team, when they played yesterday, they had her little Funko Pop out there.
Really?
Yeah, they had a little Funko Pop of her, man. That's dope, man.
Yeah, she's gonna be a savage, man. Hopefully, I can go watch her play one day.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, no, man, freaking see how that goes and get ready for the next one.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to episode 11. Till next week, we out.